The Rainy Day Reflection. In the small town of Rishikesh, as the monsoon rains poured relentlessly, young Nikhil noticed his father's usual quiet demeanor turn more solemn. Sensing an untold story, Nikhil turned to his wise Dadi. Dadi, with her warm smile, began narrating Papa's childhood, a time filled with strict discipline and high expectations, which often left little room for joy and understanding. This revelation was a surprise to Nikhil, who always saw his father as a strong, unemotional figure. Motivated by Dadi's stories, Nikhil decided to bridge the emotional gap with his father. He planned a small indoor picnic, complete with Papa's favorite childhood snacks prepared secretly with Dadi's help. The picnic day arrived, and as they sat down, surrounded by old family albums, Papa's eyes softened. Memories and stories flowed, accompanied by laughter and some tears. Nikhil saw a different side of his father, a side that yearned for connection and understanding. Through this simple yet heartfelt gesture, Nikhil and his father started a new chapter in their relationship, breaking the cycle of emotional restraint. Nikhil learned the importance of empathy and open communication, realizing that understanding the past can heal and shape a better future. What's the moral of this story? By understanding and empathizing with a parent's past, we can break the cycle of passed down traumas, opening doors to deeper connections and emotional well being. I hope you enjoyed the story. Let's dive deeper into understanding what is the nitty gritty behind the relationship between a parent and a child. What chakra is correlating to this relationship? What emotions are correlating in this relationship? The positives, the negatives, how to transform from the negative to the positive so that the flow of energy is happening upwards. Okay? Now, I want you to take 2 seconds to try and guess which chakra correlates in this particular relationship. It is the Manipura or the navel chakra. Now, within this chakra, there are two types of emotions. As we saw earlier, in all relationships, there are two types of emotions, positive as well as negative. Now, the negative emotion attached over here in this relationship is greed and jealousy, which involves wanting more than needed and feeling enviousness. Addressing these can help in maintaining a healthier family relationship, which is actually also the key to balance in your life. Next, let's try and figure out what are the positive emotions in this relationship. The positive emotions are joy and charity, which is a feeling of happiness and the act of helping others. This can improve family dynamics and personal well being, contributing to wellness. And when I say wellness, I mean holistic wellness, wellness of the mind, the heart, and the body as well. Now, let's try and figure out what is the nature of this relationship. What are the key elements within this relationship that make up this relationship? So, first and foremost, this relationship is nurturing, and that is the primary core and the primary quality of this relationship. As a parent, the duty of the parent is to nurture the child, not just nurturing in terms of providing food for survival, but also providing that safe environment in which the child can thrive and grow. And when I say safe environment, I don't mean just the physical one, obviously. I also mean the emotional and mental nurturing environment. Next, let's look at the second nature of this relationship, which is survival. Now, when I say survival, what I mean, obviously, you all understand this, right? Providing the nourishment that is required for the child to grow and become a healthy adult, a healthy human being. Okay, protecting them, giving them that safety that's required from all kinds of threats, giving them the food that is required in order to carry out their day-to-day activities, and so on and so forth. Now, the third one is any guesses? It's safety. The most important element within this relationship is the element of safety. If a child does not feel safe and they're constantly feeling some sort of a flight or fight situation, a threat, a constant state of threat, because maybe they have some emotions that they want to share with their parents, but the parent is maybe avoiding that emotion. So the child is not going to feel safe. And if the child does not feel safe, do you think the child will grow up to be healthy? Do you think the child is going to grow up to be happy? I really have doubt on that particular topic, because even research and studies show that if there is no emotional safety in the environment, along with obviously physical safety, the development of the neurons within the brain gets dampened or slowed down. It's not as fast or as thriving in compared to someone who has all of those elements in their day-to-day life. Now, let's look at what is the role of this relationship in our life, okay? First, the role that this relationship plays in our life is self-esteem. Depending on the kind of support, the kind of safety that you receive from your parents, you are going to feel a certain way about yourself. If they gave you a lot of words of affirmation and they gave you the love and attention that you needed at the right time, you will grow up to have a healthy, high self-esteem. You will be confident in who you are as a person. You will have belief in yourself. You'll have faith in your abilities. So the first role that this relationship plays in our life is self-esteem development. Next, what is the other role that this relationship plays? It is the foundation of all the other relationships that you have in your life. Let's say in your work environment, you have a particular leader or a boss that you're reporting to. And your father always told you, let's just an assumption, an example to help you understand. Your father always told you that you're not that great, they did not appreciate you or something. You're going to want this validation from your boss, and you're going to look at your boss as one of your parents. Very, very highly possible. Let's say your mother didn't give you the attention that you needed. You're going to develop mother wound. And because of this, you will become detached or, kind of having challenges with your feminine side. So that is exactly why it's super duper important for you, when you are going to have your children, give them that kind of attention and ensure that the relationship is healthy in every way possible. This course itself is enough for you to understand how to ensure that the relationship that you're having with your children is healthy. And if you are someone who already has these wounds, then I will share with you some ways in which you can improve your existing relationship with your parents. Okay, now let's move on. The next role that this relationship has in our life is fight or flight regulation. Let's say that there is a threat, but you know that your parents are there to protect you and save you. You will learn through them how to regulate your fight or flight state. Okay, so regulation of the fight or flight state is dependent on the relationship of parent-child. Now, let's look at what are the ways in which you can take certain actions to transform the negative emotion or any kind of an emotional block in this relationship and overcome it to become positive in life and have the positive experiences and emotions. So first and foremost, we have 5 different actions that we can take in 5 different areas. The first area is family bonding. This is really important, and in the age of AI, most people are not giving that much of importance or time to family bonding activities. They don't even know that family bonding is important. Most of the parents, they are feeding their children by playing some kind of a cartoon on the TV or giving them some gadget in the hand, and the child is just so much interested in the gadget that the right kind of saliva is not being secreted, the right amount of saliva is not being secreted, and the food that the child is taking in is not giving the child that nourishment that it deserves. The child is learning from such a young age to not be mindful while eating. Imagine how can this child be energetic? Not possible, right? So similarly, there are a lot of challenges in today's day and time, and as technology progresses and as we become so-called connected, we are actually becoming disconnected, because we are using technology as a medium of connection. So we are not actually connecting directly. We are having like this mediator of connection. Instead, we should be connecting directly. In some cases, let's say you are living away from your parents or your family because you have to go and work in a different city. In that case, it is totally understandable to connect with them through a video call or something. But until and unless that's the case, why would you want to connect with them when they're actually physically present? You also need to understand that they might not necessarily have a lot of time. Life is very uncertain. You never know if you're going to see a tomorrow or not. So why don't you live each and every day as if it was the last day that you were seeing your loved ones? It's going to make a tremendous impact and a tremendous difference in your life and the life of your loved ones. Now, for family bonding, there are multiple ways that you can actually improve your family bonding. Let's look at some 5 ways through which we can improve it. Okay. First, you can play games with your family once a week at least. And I will give you a template. Okay. In this template, you can take a printout, and it has all the different kinds of instructions also. It comes with the instructions. So while playing these games, you can improve family bonding. You can get to understand each other in your family. Do you even know like what is the favorite food of your mother? Do you know what's the favorite food of your father? You might have obviously asked this question to maybe a girl or a guy, but did you ask what's the favorite color of your parents? Do you know where they want to go for traveling? I'm pretty sure you might not be knowing all of these answers. And if you know the answers to these questions, it's a great thing. You're already strongly bonded to your family, and I really highly appreciate that. But if you do not know the answers to these questions, I would request you to go and actually ask them. They will actually feel happy about it. Okay? And I'm very sure if you ask them the same, they already know. And if they don't know, you can tell the same to them. It's okay, not a very big problem. It's not about what happened till today that matters. What matters is what is going to happen after you become aware of all of this information. Okay. Next step that you can take is family bonding time, where you can have a activity called pass the pillow, where at least once a week the entire family comes together and you pass a pillow, and whoever has the pillow for the next 5 to 10 minutes, they can speak their heart out. No justification, no judgment. Nobody's going to tell them, oh, this is what happened, that no, nothing like that. Let them just speak whatever comes to their heart. Okay. This is going to help you understand what they're going through, and have at least 3 rounds before you close this game. It's okay if you have a big family. It's good. You're going to learn so much about all of the people in your family, and you're going to be so happy, and you're going to get more connected to your family members as a result. Okay. Next one. No gadget time, 2 hours a week. Have any kind of activity with your family. Let it be you're going to travel somewhere, you're going to a retreat, maybe you're playing some games like you're swimming together, you're playing Ludo, or you're playing Snake and Ladder or Carom, anything, any kind of a family game you can play together that of your own choice. And you can keep on changing these games regularly, because sometimes it gets boring to play the same games, I understand. But ensure that whenever you're spending this quality time with your family, there are no gadgets involved. Watching a movie together is not spending time with the family. You are in your own world, you're just watching the movie together, that's it. So that doesn't count. So no gadget, 2 hours a week, you need to ensure that you spend that much time with your family. Next, have at least dinner or breakfast with your family together every single day. It makes so much of a difference if you are going to be having your food together with your family. It is going to help you have a sense of safety. Because when you're eating, if you're in the state of fight or flight, you can't eat safely, you can't feel that satisfaction. But if you are eating, it sends a signal that you're in a safe environment and you feel connected to the people that you're eating with. So it's an important activity to do with your family every single day. If you're not present in the same city or state or whatever, it's okay. You can give them a video call. You have technology for that, right? You can have their presence, not physically, but at least you have them there. So the next one and the final one is, okay, the games template. So I'm gonna share a game template with you, and you can take a printout of these templates and you can start playing with your family members to build better bonds with them. Now let's look at the next growth actions that we can take. Next is attachment style. So having an understanding of the attachment style that you have with your parents. So there are 4 types of attachment styles that we are going to discuss over here. The first one is the anxious attachment style. What exactly happens in the anxious attachment style? You have always seen your parent being anxious about the future. They're highly anxious. They are not certain about the outcome of their actions or the outcome of their surrounding and everything. They're not avoidant, but they're anxious. So you also develop an anxious attachment style with them. You get attached to them, but in a manner where you don't know if the next action that you're taking, what is the outcome of that action? What is the certainty of that action? Okay, this gets passed on generationally. You can gain awareness of this, and through these games and activities, you can slowly transform the attachment style you have. Next one is the avoidant attachment style, in which you have high avoidance but low anxiety. That means your parents neglected or avoided all kinds of important emotions that you wanted to share with them. If you came to them and said that something hurt you, and see, as a kid, we do not necessarily know. Let me give you an example here. If you got cut by a knife compared to someone slapped you, if you haven't experienced the other emotion before, you don't know how to understand which one is a more deeper pain. For someone who got stabbed by a knife versus someone who got slapped, if you go and ask them, they will both say that the pain was equal. But as parents, sometimes when our children come to us and share that, someone bullied me or something, or we got harassed, we just take it lightly and we are like, yeah, this is life, this is how it is. You will have to experience much more. If you're going to get shaken in just this much, how will you handle the much more bigger difficulties of life? No, you need to understand that if they're sharing with you, you have to give them that validation that, okay, this matters. As a result, they will also understand that you care about them, that you respect their feelings and emotions. And through this, you can build a better family bonding. Okay. The next one is secure attachment, in which you have low avoidance and low anxiety. This is the ideal case scenario. Very difficult to achieve. Not a lot of people are aware of all of these dynamics, so it's a little difficult to achieve, but I wouldn't say that is impossible. A lot of people I have seen have the secure attachment, where they know that their parents always supported them, gave them the attention that they required. At the same time, the parents were confident and had an abundance mindset, because of which the children also developed this abundance mindset. If you're not going to develop the abundance mindset but have a scarcity mindset, even if there are good times coming in your life, if any incident in your life is bringing you closer to abundance, you will not feel safe in that, because you're not trained in how to handle that particular emotion, how to handle yourself in that particular state. So it's very important to learn and develop secure attachment style. If you apply all of the previous actions, playing games and everything, and spending time with each other, passing the pillow, etc., it will slowly transform over a period of time. It will take some time, but it's possible. It will transform. And these attachment styles also show up in your relationship at workplace, with your friends, in your lover partner relationship with your spouse. It may also transfer in your children also if you're not aware of it. So it's so important to take care of this. See, most of the people keep uh, focusing on building more wealth, money, not even wealth, I would say money. Okay, they're always running in this rat race trying to build money, 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 money. What's the use of all of that money if you don't have a secure attachment with that money? It will not stay with you. You will always be constantly worried that something is going to take away that money from you. Okay, even the relationship that you have with yourself, you will not feel confident in your own abilities. Coming back to the self-esteem element. Okay, now the fourth attachment style is fearful, which means high avoidance and high anxiety. Okay, I feel sad for people who are in this state, but not sad in a hopeless manner. I know that through this course and through the guidance that I am sharing with you and the community that we are creating together, we will be able to overcome this. Not in one day, the speed, the journey might be different for every person depending on how much action they're taking and how much involvement they have within the community. So one thing I can guarantee is if you are involved, it will make a difference and impact in your life. Next, let's look at the next area, inner child healing. Very, very important. Most of the people don't even know what this is. What is the inner child? They're like in such a big ignorance, running the race of survival, that they don't have the time to think about their inner child at all. And as a result, the inner child is driving them. They're not the drivers of their actions. They're not in the driver's seat of their mind. The subconscious inner child conditioning is taking them in different directions, and they have no idea how to overcome this. But worry not, in our silver membership as well as gold membership, we have more awareness on these particular topics with specific methodologies, frameworks, and a lot of amazing resources that will help you to regulate and heal your inner child. But let's look at what exactly are the areas. So first is, what action can we take? So first, we need to sit with ourselves and reflect and identify what are those incidents in our lives, those strong emotions in our lives that occurred, but we weren't ready to accept them for what they were. Let's say there was something very traumatic that occurred. Let's say you saw death. Maybe you had a pet and you saw the pet die. And maybe you did not know how to process this. Maybe you could not share this incident and how you're feeling about it with anyone. So you kept this particular emotion aside. This was like a cut or a wound, but you kept it aside. You're like, okay, I will tend to this wound at a later point of time in my life when I'm aware of how to handle it. But today is the time. From today, you sit with yourself and identify what are these traumas that you have been ignoring all your life. That's step number one. Now, step number two is acceptance. Okay. Now, what do you do in acceptance? Let's say that incident happened because of your own actions or because of the action of someone else. You forgive them. And you're not forgiving them in the sense that you're ignoring their actions. You're forgiving them because, let's say I give you a glass of water in your hand and you keep the hand out in front of you, stretched in front of you with the glass in your hand. Now you're holding this glass for 5 minutes. Easy. Let's say you're holding this glass for 1 hour. Let's say you're holding this glass for 24 hours. Let's say you're holding this glass for 1 week. Isn't it going to become heavy? Is it going to be of the same weight? Absolutely not. Exactly like that, each time someone hurts you and you hold on to that hurt, it's just a weight that you are carrying with you in your life. That person, whatever their state of mental state or emotional state, just ignore it, it's fine. You forgive them so that you are happy and lift off that burden off of yourself. Okay, this is step number 2. Step number 3 is write a gratitude journal. See, what happens is we have 60,000 thoughts every single day on average, according to studies. And out of that, more than 80% of the thoughts are on a repeat mode. So there's a possibility that you're carrying on some kind of negative thoughts from the past every single day. But until and unless you start creating positive neural networks and structures within your mind, how are you gonna live a life of happiness and joy and balance and peace and all of the other things that you want to achieve in your life? And if you're living with these negative thoughts, how are you going to manifest abundance in all areas of your life? So that is why one of the simplest, fastest, most effective and efficient way of unlocking abundance and transforming yourself is to maintain a gratitude journal. Just write down at least 3 incidents from the day that you're grateful for. Try to search for those positive things that happened in your day. And don't tell me that there were not even 3 things that were positive in the day. As simple as you're alive, that itself is a positive thing. You got food to eat, that's a positive thing. You're able to watch this video, that's a positive thing. Okay, so that's the 3rd step to heal your inner child. We have many more activities and exercises that you can practice to heal your inner child, but for this particular course at this point of time, this is good enough to begin with. Now let's look at the next one. Ego state regulation. What do I mean by this? So there are 3 types of egos, and I know for a fact that you have no idea what I'm talking about here. Before I dive into the ego state, let me explain to you what I mean by and what is the context of ego in my dictionary, according to my experience. What do I mean by the word ego? You, in your head, have an image of yourself. At the same time, you, in your head, have an image of what others see you. Okay? Now, this image of yourself is developed in your entire life through all the different experiences. But the image that you think others see you or perceive you from is developed by your interaction with other people. Now, what ends up happening is if you have a wounded child, that means before the age of 9, from the time you were aware up until the age of 9, if you have any kind of a very difficult emotion to process and you did not process it till now, there's a possibility that you might be feeling that you're not good enough, that you're very tiny. You have that image inside that you're very, very tiny. And to compensate, you project yourself bigger than you are. You have to fill that gap, right? So you project yourself bigger. Now, other people might end up thinking that you have a lot of attitude and you think highly of yourself, which you maybe not, but why do you think? So all of these things means you have a inflated ego. It's not a real ego. It's not your real self. You're projecting an inflated image because you're scared that people might see the inner child that you're hiding from them. Okay? You might feel vulnerable and exposed. You might not feel safe. Anything you share with them, with others, you might feel that they're going to hold it against you and you feel threat. You might also feel all the time that you have needs and you want others to fulfill these needs for you. But that is just your inner child that is wounded, because of which you are projecting an inflated ego in the world so that you can protect yourself. The second one is, let's say somehow you created a shield around you to protect yourself at the time of your age group of, let's say, 10 to 19 in your teenage life. Okay, so this is the point of time where you created a detachment from everyone around you and you felt, I don't need anyone, I am perfect, everything that I do is the best. And you create this kind of a shield and you don't allow anything to enter, neither good nor bad. You think you're better than everyone else. In this case, you are having an image which is bigger than it is supposed to be. Okay, and there might be times that if you are aware, you project yourself deflated to others because you think, oh, I am so much better than him, and this person, or I'm so much better than her, and this person might understand or get to know that, you know, I have these amazing things with me, but I need to project myself in a small way so that, you know, they don't get to know who I am. So you again compensate and you show them a deflated image of yourself, but they're going to know that you think too much of yourself. Okay, the third one is where we want to be, which is the adult ego, or the true self image ego, or the true self ego. In this particular case, what happens is, you know who you are, you feel safe and confident in your existence, you know that whatever is there in your life is neither perfect nor imperfect, it is real for what it is. Everything is just real and you accept reality for what it is. You have a dashed line in front of you as a boundary rather than just a straight line or no line at all. You allow certain things to enter your psyche and certain things to go out. Not like I won't allow anything to enter or anything to go. It's not a shielded one. It has that gap wherever it's required. You know how to maintain that. You know that the needs that you have, you can meet your own needs, but the wants that you have, you can go out to other people and you can ask them for the help that you need or require to fulfill those wants. You're not dependent on them to fulfill your needs, but you can ask them to help you with your wants. That is the true self. Now finally, let's look at vagus nerve regulation. What exactly is the vagus nerve? So there is a particular nerve that goes from your head to the base of your spine. And this is the biggest nerve, and it has a lot of branches that go to all the different organs which are responsible for secretion of important functioning in your body. Okay, now this nerve sends a signal from the gut back to the head and from the head back to the gut, and depending on the perception, depending on if it is regulated, if it sees that everything is good, safe, healthy or not, it sends a certain kind of a signal. Now let's look at what exactly is happening there. You can look up polyvagal theory also, and you can look up vagus nerve exercises. Also, I will be sharing a template, a Notion template, in which there will be certain exercises that you can do at your own home to activate and regulate the vagus nerve. First one is, as I mentioned, this vagus nerve digests food depending on your state of mind. If you're in the constant state of fight or flight, it is not going to digest the food in the best possible way. You might not feel energetic. Okay, you might feel lethargy, procrastination. A lot of different issues come up because of the dysregulation of this nerve. Some people feel stress, anxiety, panic attacks just because of this nerve, because it's not sending the right signal. So a very, very important factor over here is to practice some kind of breathing exercises or somatic or slash somatic means body. So body work exercises, bioenergetics. You can also have some nootropics, Ayurvedic herbal nootropics. Don't try to go for these chemical based nootropics, not very effective. Even if they're effective, they're not good in the long term. They might have their own side effects. So all of these ways you can ensure that you can be in a state of safety. You can do some kind of meditation. The fastest, most effective, and the most powerful exercise that you can do is you can chant a mantra on beads. You need to chant on beads because it involves all of your senses. Okay, we'll talk much more about it in detail in the relationships that are coming up. Okay, next one is gut microbiome. As I was mentioning, there is an entire microbiome in your gut that is living. What is this? These are the good bacteria that are responsible for breaking down the food that you're ingesting inside, and as a result, digesting the food. So, what ends up happening if the vagus nerve is not regulated? The good bacteria start to die. Okay, as a result, it's difficult for people to digest the food properly. They start having lactose intolerance and a lot of other different issues in their life. Even the heart starts to become weaker because this vagus nerve goes through the heart also. It's connected to the heart also. So the heart, if it becomes weak, many of the people many of the people experience high blood pressure, low blood pressure, and attacks, and all of these kind of different issues as well. So vagus nerve regulation, super duper important in ensuring that you have a healthy and happy life. Next one is impact on all relationships. Obviously, if your energy is not proper, your relationships are also going to get impacted. So you need to ensure that you carry out some exercises and activities to regulate the vagus nerve. You can Google the same if you would like, or you can go and download the PDFs that I have attached, or you can enroll in the silver, gold, or diamond membership, in which we dive deeper into all of these different elements to try and understand and dissect ways in which we can actually improve our lives by improving and regulating all of these areas of our lives. Okay, now if you find anything of value within this particular module, then invite other people. How are you going to invite other people? All you have to do is leave a review on Trustpilot, the link is below, or on Google Reviews. And in the review, if you found this of value, then drop a 4-star, 5-star, depending on what kind of value you got. And if you drop a 5-star, also write a short message about what was your learning, what was your experience, and invite others to come and join this particular community. See, don't get blocked and think that I'm trying to sell something here. Obviously, I'm trying to sell this because I know that this is of value, and if you help me in selling this further, other people's life will be improved. What will I do with all of the money? I'm just going to invest it back in improving the resources that I'm sharing with the community, the content that I'm sharing with the community. So that is something that I will promise, because this is the purpose of my life. I understand very well, very clearly, that accumulation, what's the point of, even if I have like 100 crores, what will I do with that 100 crores? I am still going to live in this small body, right? I'm still going to eat that. I'm not going to start eating gold or something. But if you help me, then that will really help the community to grow, because I'm going to invest that back to grow this community. Okay, so please invite other people, please leave. See, I've invested so much time. Do you think this course is just worth whatever amount I have charged? I know for a fact, if you apply just one concept from this particular lesson and course that I'm sharing with you, this content, money is never going to be a problem. You're never going to be thinking about money at all. So can you not invest little bit of time to go to these review sites? Because people, there's so much of noise in the world that they don't know where to go and what is exactly going to help them or not help them. But if you go and share your experience, it will really motivate them, inspire them, and help them understand what's happening inside. Okay? So, thank you so much. I am so deeply grateful. Like, I cannot express it in words. I'm trying. I cannot express it in words, but I am so thankful that I'm able to be a tool in the hands of the divine to bring all of this knowledge, this wisdom, all of the research that I've done in all my years. I'm able to share it with you. And not just that, I'm so thankful that you are investing time with me in growing yourself. I don't see that you're different from me. I see that we are one and the same, having different experiences in different bodies. So, how can I do injustice to you? So, thank you once again, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you're enjoying this series, and I'll see you again. Take care.